All right, ladies. So before we start some of the videos from Westlake, I want y'all to see like some of this. So second chance points, 1.25 points per possession. So that means you got an offensive rebound, and when you do, you're like 4 feet or closer to the basket. So that's why this is always like the highest percentage. Then we have defensive rebound. This one isn't really about skill. This one is about focus to us, how you balance the floor in transition defense. So if we take a shot and we got four people at or below the free throw line and they get a defensive rebound and push the ball, this one's on us. All right, 1.15. That's way too high, especially when our scouting report was if they shoot it, we need three and four girls getting back at the perception of a shot. And we'll see in the video how we didn't do that. And then the live ball turnovers, this one's obvious. I mean, this is more so skill than focus. It's like they, defensive if they're long and athletic, they overwhelm you. When you were a kid, the team that pressed the most and had the fastest kids usually won the game. Not that they're skilled, it's just they create the most live ball turnovers. So usually this is right under offensive rebounds. All right, and then these are kind of normal. I mean, dead ball turnover, meaning if you kick it off your foot and it goes out of bounds, you travel. Those are dead ball. We get to set up, and that's low. Those are turnovers are not created equal, as you can see. Live ball and dead ball are different. And then start from like our made basket. So these are fine. This is focus. That's discipline, that's coaching, that's on me. And we gotta make better habits. And then these two are just like we gotta get in and work on our skill set, on our fundamentals. All right, so last thing before we start the video, 17 points on set offense, right? So if we get our defense set, look, every team's gonna score. You're not gonna win any game 30-0. So they scored 17, which isn't much. But I bet you if you added up the time of possession between these two, this is like 80% of the game, and this is about 2% of the game. And they scored 17 points off of those transition points. So we got to make sure we get back. We got to make sure we understand what take fouls are. We got to understand how to balance the floor. All right, let's check out the video. All right, so baseline out of bounds play. We run split. So part of this is not running it correctly. As soon as Kay runs corner, she's supposed to run back. So they switched it. So if Shiloh can't get the ball, she could pop to the corner. We don't do that. This is not contact by Shiloh. She's touching her, but she don't have her knees bent. She's not holding her in. And so look at this. This is what we try to do on 1-3-1. Watch this girl. She gets a tip and watch her just slap it towards her basket. She just slaps it and takes off running. So if the defense was more balanced, let's back it up just a little bit. At this point, we have every single person below the free throw line. Nobody's back. So, of course, they're going to get a free possession. Charlotte did a good job of not getting a foul. At this point, we're up 3-0, and we give up a free 2 points. All right, and this is why film is so important because, verbally I can kind of tell you, hey, throw some dummy passes. Like a dummy pass would be pass it there, Shade stay where she is. We pass it to Mariah, and then we throw it and get into our set because now we've cooked 12 seconds. All right. If your team is better than you, you want less possessions. If you're better than the other team, you want more. So we could get into this offense 12 seconds after we've had the ball and cook more clock, but we're already getting into it. So, so I mean, but this isn't bad. We do cook some clock and we move the ball, but like I said, that's what I mean when I say that. Now, I do like this idea. We set a back screen that's super smart by Mariah. Shades, you got to float. Like right now, your head is up. When you see this girl fighting over the screen, you should be in the corner. And Tavi, you got to turn and see. All right. But she runs through the pass. If Caden and both Mariah screen and Shade knows to float to the corner, we get a wide open shot. The other option is Shade. Just if you want to protect the pass, just run up here and just easily get another possession and make them have to just make them have to play defense longer. So again, there's another bucket, 6-3. All right, this is a good teachable moment. Like when you hear me say get the ball to somebody who hasn't dribbled yet, like sometimes it's tough for us to get into these offenses. So if Shay would throw it to Tabia right here and then get it right back, like get open and get it right back where you haven't dribbled yet, we could enter the sets easier. But Entering a set while dribbling is more difficult. So how do we help each other until we get to a place where we could do that? So now you're dealing with all this ball pressure trying to run a set or 14, and it's just dribbling and making that pass is difficult. Now watch what happens when we get a triple threat. Good job, Shiloh. Now, in this situation, Shiloh, we don't need to attack them, right? We could cook more clock. If you just throw it to shade, we're good. And then we could set it up. So now we throw it to the corner. Nothing wrong with that. It's just it's easier to just cook clock. So now we throw it to people who haven't dribbled yet. Now look how much easier it is to get into these sets. Good read. Mariah's open. Transition play. So now we after we miss, Mariah, you got to be sprint back. Shade, you got to be deeper, right? And Tavia, this is what I'm talking about learning to take a foul. One, you're not balanced. If you got those trees down there, just pump fake, live to fight another day. You got an offensive rebound. Cook 10 more seconds off the clock. All right, so we get blocked, and Shade is always attacking the ball. And Shade, you got to do a better job of getting back. Yes, you're at the top of the 1-3-1, but this is transition. So now we try to attack the ball. It's 2-on-1, and then they get a layup off of that. So that is get it to somebody who hasn't dribbled yet, transition defense, and Shade, you and Addison. I know she's on the younger side, or younger player, but y'all run it straight at the ball, and y'all got to learn to protect the rim first. All right, and this is a better possession, so this is, I guess, the good. They still score, but this is the good. Charlotte's gotten so much better at setting us up in the offense, so that was. I'm not gonna play it back, but that was good there. We got to run this Texas better. Shallow, you got to get below her elbow. I know you don't normally run the point on this, but you should. I mean, you got to get there. But anyway, look, the shot goes up, but look how the floor is balanced. We got Addison, Shiloh, Tavia, Mariah. Don't hang out in the corner once the shot goes up. Sprint. But because of that, this is still a fast break. But look how much tougher it is for them to score. So now we get a chance to stop ball, make them kick, play against the closeout. And yes, they end up getting an offensive rebound because that girl is big and they get a foul, but that's a better possession. We had the floor balance. They had to do a lot more work to score it. That was a good job there. All right, and this is just something to think about. So we get the ball to somebody who hadn't dribbled yet, so that's good. Look at the score. It's the beginning of the third is 20-12. They are allowing us to cook the clock. Like this is a team that's allowing us to say, hey, you can cook 30 seconds if you want. You can pass the ball up here if you want to, which is like that's what we got to be thinking, ladies. So now, like we get into the offense immediately. So now it's been what? We've had the ball since 7 minutes and 15 seconds, and we try to attack them immediately. There's nothing wrong with passing it around. So, boom. And by the time that thing hits 9 seconds from 15, they're in transition. So this is what I'm talking about for like Shade and Addison, because both of them play the top of the 1-3-1 a lot. Don't attack the ball. You got Tavia, Shiloh, all them behind you. Mariah, you got to get deeper. Like you got to get as deep as you can, especially when a turnover happens. All right, so now here, instead of Addison running back with her, she attacks the ball. So Caden's still behind the ball too. So now they throw it ahead. So now Mariah is 2-on-1. And that's why Mariah say be back already so you're not running back as the ball is thrown. Because now they got a girl ahead of you. And so they get an uncontested layup. All right. So let's just look at that. This isn't to get on y'all. This is just correction. Things we gotta correct. All right. I'm not gonna continue to talk about it. I think we know we should hold the ball a little bit longer. So let's move past that. So Mariah, run where nobody is near you. Like even this pass to me, this girl could run through that pass if she was a more aggressive player. So like we gotta run way up here to make sure she has a choice. Do you want to come chase me? Or do you want to stay with Shiloh? But right now, she's guarding both easily. And if she was more aggressive, she would have ran through that bounce pass. All right, so we got to know that. And so we get into the offense immediately. We drive. We get a paint touch. We got a young player with the ball, normally from like Rowan or somebody that probably be a shot. So, but look, we got once he goes here, we're back to balancing the floor. Tavi does a good job of diving. And Mariah, as you start to anticipate a turnover possibly happen, your body has to be going back. Right now, you're not anticipating a turnover. And even if she did catch it, you would still be getting back. You wait until you see them turn it over. So here's the thing. Addison on this court, Addison, Mariah in this game, even Tavia, like none of y'all are offensive rebounders. So the perception of a shot, you need to be getting back because you're not going to get enough offensive rebounds to make up for the risk. So now we see them turn it over. Now Mariah's getting back, and that's too late, too slow. So now they're downhill. They're up ahead, all our players, and then they're getting layups. All right, and some of the things you gotta like notice what you're doing. Like we could, hey, to be honest, this is I feel like watching film to show your shortcomings of what gets players better. But I could obviously make a really good highlight. Here is one of the good ones. Is like to me, this team was getting so frustrated with the 1-3-1. They took shots that they normally didn't take. This girl, she can shoot it. Look at this off the dribble three. They normally don't take those. All right, and as you know, we're living with that. We get offensive board. All right, but to me, that's a lack of focus. All right, and the team we have to be is like some of the better teams that I coached on the boys' side before is like, I don't think you can be more disciplined us for 32 straight minutes. Teams kept up with us for a half, but for 32 minutes, kids just can't do it. So we get offensive board, they make a mental mistake. We get the ball up here. To me, what are we in a rush for? Like, we don't need to sprint up the court because, again, we wanted to slow possessions down. And this is a mistake. Boom. It's just lack of focus. All right. So Shallow, you can't have those moments right there. It's not a good look. So like, and here's again, if you're thinking, of your dummy passes, Tavi just waits. We get to somebody here and dribble check, and then we get set up in whatever we're going to get set up in. So miscommunication, lack of focus. So they have a lack of focus play. We double down. All right, two things here, and this is why it's so important to watch film so you can see your habits. So we do Dallas now. Caden, your job is to stop and screen whoever the outside person is that's the biggest threat. So I would say just screen your own person right here, right? Like you're trying to screen her man, just screen your own person in that situation, and then Tavi has an easier shot. But Shiloh, I don't mind crashing because Shiloh can get offensive rebounds. But Shay, watch you. You're like your court mapping skills. You're guarding a girl. You're the last one back. So you got Mariah in the corner who should be getting back. Shiloh, Caden, everybody's below the free throw line. And then you run forward. Like you're not mindful of the girl that you were just touching. And so both of them run past us because you're looking to hawk down the ball. So you got to start reading that better because it literally happens every time you're in transition. So now, Tavi tries to get back. We don't do it. They get another 2 points. So I think about, I mean, they had 17 transition points on this, right? When you include the and ones. I think we could have held them to 6 transition points if we had more discipline and we knew what was going on. Again, this is ignorance. Y'all don't know it yet. Perfectly fine. But we got to get in the lab and we got to make these corrections. And you just got to make sure that teams, no matter how good they are, even if they're as good as Westlake, that they don't get those type of buckets on us. All right, good job, ladies. Really proud of you.